welcome to another episode of the Bracketeers. We are going to find out on what the final on the of the actor side of the bracket is going to be, and we're also going to find out the actresses bracket at the same time. But I'll bring up that. So we have got Tom Hanks versus Robin Williams. And going into the final by a huge margin is going to be Tom Hanks. He won very easily, as he has been the whole tournament. And now we go to the other side, which is Gary Oldman versus Robert De Niro. And just by one vote, Robert De Niro takes out Gary Oldman. But that was definitely a close matchup, which means our finals is going to be Tom Hanks versus Robert De Niro. And also, there will be a third place match because that's what happened when I set this up, which means we've got Tom Hanks versus Robert De Niro, which is the number 1 seed and the number 3 seed for first place. And then the bronze match will be Robin Williams versus Gary Oldman. So, I think Tom Hanks will probably win. At this stage, he's just been dominant and taking out everyone on his path. And for the bronze match, I'm going with Oldman on this. I think Oldman will take it out, but anything is possible. But eh. But yeah. But yeah, voting is open as of now. I'll just submit my votes because why not? But and that is the actors bracket. Now we move over to the actresses side as I get it up. And as you see, the tournament I haven't started it up yet, but right. So our first matchup in the actresses bracket is going to be Kate Blanchett versus Laura Dern. But yeah, with this, I think but of this, I think Kate Blanchett has it, but Laura Dern is great as well, and it is probably going to be a close match. Our next matchup we've got is Lupita Nyong'o versus Holly Hunter. And this is going to be interesting what happens because it's literally the two in the middle of the pack here, but I think Lupita Nyong'o will just edge out Holly Hunter, but yeah. We've match number 3. We've got Julia Roberts versus Diane Lane. And this one is a bit of an easy one for me because I think Julie Roberts is a great actress, and I think she has um, what it takes. But Diane Lane, I don't know. Um, but next up, we've got um, Sandy B, Sandra Bullock versus Annette Bening. But and for this, I think Sandra Bullock will pull out the win. I know there's a lot of love for Annette Bening out there, but I think there's more love for Sandra Bullock. Now we've got Emily Blunt versus Alison Brie. Um, Emily Blunt's got this easily. I mean, I not I Alison Brie is great, but she really like aside from Community and like a few movies, Unikid and all that, she hasn't really done a lot in her acting caliber side of things yet. But we'll find out how the people goes. We've got Emma Stone versus Susan Sarandon. Um, I'm going to go Emma Stone on this. Susan Sarandon is great, but I think Emma Stone sort of is going to take it out. But next up, we've got Judy Garland versus Yvette Nicole Brown. This is another easy one for me. Judy Garland's going to win. Um, Yvette Nicole Brown, aside from Community, has had sort of a few random appearances in movies, but yeah. Next up, we've got Elizabeth Taylor versus Jessica Chastain. This is going to be tough because, on one hand, you got the classic actress Elizabeth Taylor, who's done a lot, but on the other side of the coin, Jessica Chastain's been doing a lot of great work in the recent side of things. So, um, I don't know. This is going to come down pretty close, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Next up on the docks, we have got Glenn Close versus Debbie Reynolds. This is going to be a close match, if you excuse the pun. But yeah, no, I think Glenn Close is going to win. This just because I think a lot of people in the community either don't know who Debbie Reynolds is or only really know her from Singing in the Rain. So, and a lot of people really know Glenn Close and but next up we've got Scarlett Johansson versus Angelina Jolie. One person who's got one more movie left in the MCU, and the other one who's going to start in the MCU next year. So, but as much as I love ScarJo, I think Angelina Jolie will take it out. So Angelina Jolie's got a lot more range, I think, there. The next matchup we've got is Amy Adams versus Rosamund Pike. Um, but yeah, I think Amy Adams will win because I think there's a lot of people in the community which feels that she has been snubbed so much for Oscars and is just a really great actress. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Next up, we've got Kate Winslet versus Helena Bonham Carter. Kate Winslet, I think, will win this. But Helena Bonham Carter, I think, has got the geek side as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Got Catherine Hepburn versus Tilda Swinton. I think that Catherine Hepburn will some that I think Catherine Hepburn will pull out the win against Tilda. I think Tilda's great, but I think like Catherine Hepburn's very classic actress there, so I think um like her caliber will pull her through this. But as the actors bracket showed, anything is possible with some of the defeats that happened. So, um, but next on the actresses' side is we've got Charlize Theron versus Michelle Pfeiffer. Um, I'm going to go Charlize Theron on this, simply because I think she's got a good range of movies there. I think she's shown she can do anything. Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen a lot of her movies to know. I mean, like in the movies I've seen her in, she's great. But I think a lot more people really like Charlize Theron. So next up, we've got Sally Field versus Angela Bassett. Um, I mean, Angela Bassett is great in the few roles I've seen her in, but I think Sally Field has got this. I think Sally Field has done a lot of great roles over the years, and I think she's got a lot of really good stuff out there. But yeah, next on the list is Nicole Kidman versus Barbara Stanwyck. This is going to be an interesting battle because Barbara Stanwyck appeared on a few people's lists, so she could be a sleeper win here. But Nicole Kidman, I mean, I think this is going to come down to how well the community knows Barbara Stanwyck and well, they're familiar with. But anyway, next up we've got the match which is probably going to hurt Zach Ford because I know Zach loves Greta Gerwig. But um, but yeah, we've got Meryl Streep, Meryl Streep versus Greta Gerwig. I think this is going to be an easy win for Meryl Streep. I mean, Greta Gerwig. I mean, Greta Gerwig is she's great, but she's done a lot in acting side of things. So this is going to be an interesting battle. Then we've got battle of the actresses. Grace Kelly versus Vivian Lee, and I think that Vivian Lee will win here. Um, as much as I love Grace Kelly, I think Vivian Lee has probably got is the more known of the classical side of things. I think her role is very great. Um, but yeah, the next matchup we've got is Frances McDormand versus Amy Poehler, and I think this is one that Frances McDormand will win easily. I think I like Amy. We haven't really seen her do much sort of outside of the comedy spectrum. I mean, she may end up winning because of that, because more people like her comedy and stuff. So, but I think Frances McDormand has done a lot more interesting roles. I think like she's has been nominated for awards. So, but next up on here we've got is Viola Davis versus Brie Larson. DC's Amanda Waller versus Marvel's Captain Marvel. So um, this is going to be interesting because I know that there's a lot of love for Viola Davis out there in the community. And say what you want about Captain Marvel, but Brie Larson is great. And she's done a few good roles as well, like Scott Pilgrim versus Room, a whole bunch of others. So Brie Larson could pull off the win here, but anything is possible. But next up, we have got um, Audrey Hepburn versus Tina Fey. It's another case, I think. Um, Tina, just the same as Amy Poehler, I think Tina Fey's good. I haven't really seen her do much outside of comedy to give her that range. Audrey Hepburn, I think, has done a lot of good roles out there. I think, um, but I think all in all, I think Audrey Hepburn is the one that's going to win. Next up, we've got Julianne Moore versus Faye Dunaway, and I think Faye Dunaway will win here. I like Julianne Moore. But I think Faye Dunaway is better, and I think she's yeah. But next up, we've got Julie Andrews versus Halle Berry. As much as I like Halle Berry, I think Julie Andrews will win. Um, she'll use the spoonful of sugar and make the medicine go down. She will climb every mountain just to get past Halle Berry. And I think Julie Andrews is, I mean, I joke about it now, but I think Julie Andrews will take off. I don't think that one's going to be close. But next up, we've got Helen Mirren versus Donna Reed. But Helen Mirren is, I think, is going to take that because whether it is her playing Queen Elizabeth and the Queen, whether it's her role as what's her name in Hobbs and Shaw or on Red 2, she's done stuff all over the spectrum, and she's there. And this is probably going to hurt some people, but seeing this matchup, but Donna Reed is great. But yeah, I think Helen Mirren is going to take it out. But next up, we've got Natalie Portman versus Rachel Weisz. And this is one that I think Natalie will win. I mean, Rachel Weisz could pull off the upset. But Natalie Portman, like you got Jackie, you got no matter what you want to think of, you got the Star Wars prequels. You've got her role as Jane Foster in the 4 movies. She's got a few movies coming out this year as well, which is going. But yeah, I mean, Rachel Weisz is one of those ones which, I mean, people love or hate. She's been in a lot of stuff, but next up we've got Jennifer Lawrence versus Dame Maggie Smith. This is the one that hurts me because I love both of these actresses, but I think Maggie Smith has got this. Um, and I mean, J-Lo's great. Like, she's great as Mystique. She's got Silver Lining Playbook. She's got Katniss everything, but Maggie Smith is great as well. But because you've got um the Harry Potter movies, you've got Ladies in Lavender, you've got just been a lot of movies she's done with Judy Dench, who's coming up in a bit. But the next up we've got Sigourney Weaver versus Marilyn Monroe. This is going to be interesting because Marilyn Monroe is a great actress, but Sigourney Weaver's done a lot, and she's still going. Marilyn Monroe, you've got 7 Year Itch, you've got Some Love It Hot, you've got a lot of good movies that she's been in, um, but when it comes to Sigourney Weaver, you've got Aliens, you've got um, Ghostbusters, you've got a lot of movies that she can be good in. But next up we've got Judy Dench versus Saoirse Ronan. And I love both of these, but I think Judy Dench has got this. Saoirse Ronan, I think, is just relatively new, and um, I think that's probably going to factor in as well. Because I mean, she's great, but I think she doesn't have a lot to sort of gauge. Judy Dench, you've got a lot of great stuff with her. Next up, we've got Emma Thompson versus Alicia Vikander. Just like last bit, I think Emma Thompson is going to walk away with this. Alicia Vikander is also, once again, relatively new. And we'll see what happens there, but yeah. But next up, we've got Carrie Fisher versus Shirley MacLaine. This is going to be an interesting battle, but I think Carrie Fisher will win. Because I know that this community likes Star Wars, and even though Carrie Fisher's been in a lot more as well, other than Star Wars, but this is going to be an interesting battle. See what happens. But it's also going to be an interesting battle all the same. See if people like Shirley MacLaine more. Next up, we've got Ingrid Bergman versus Olivia Tennant. This is easy for me. I'm going Ingrid Bergman. Olivia Tennant is a New Zealand actress, but this is also one that I don't really a lot of people in this community know who she is. I mean, I don't even know who she is, which is ironic. But so I looked her up, but she really doesn't have a lot to go on. Like she's in Power Rangers, but I don't think that's going to be enough for her to beat Ingrid Bergman. I think she's more well known here. And then last is Anne Hathaway versus Meg Ryan. I love both these actresses. This is tough, but I'm going with Anne Hathaway on this. Because I think Anne Hathaway is just better. um, but yeah, so that's the actresses bracket. So I'll post the poll. The polls will be in the Take 3 page very shortly to vote on. And yeah, but I also said I'm going to announce the next bracket that's going to happen after the actresses bracket, and that is going to be the bands. And I thought I'd switch it up and go into do a music bracket afterwards. So, and I picked bands to do it with. So it's going to be interesting. So if you want to be included in forming what the bracket is going to look like, then flick me a list of your top 30 favorite bands, and that's all you need to do. And when you send me the list, if you can make sure it's sort of ranked in your order from 1 to 30, and because that's going to make it easy on me when it comes to putting them there, because otherwise, if you send me a list of 30 bands, I'm going to assume that you did 1 to 30. So if there's a band you really like and you want to make sure it gets in, then put it number 1, because otherwise chances are it won't make the bracket if you're the only one that picked that band. But that being said, that has been Bracketeers for another week. Next week we'll have who the winner is for the actors side, and then we'll have the round 2 of the actresses bracket. So, um, yeah, until next week. Yeah.